Today, we're journeying back to January 30th, 1948, a day that plunged India and the world into mourning. This is the story of the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, a man revered as the father of the nation, and the conspiracy that led to his untimely death. Our story begins in the crisp late afternoon air of New Delhi, at Birla House, where Gandhi was staying. At 78 years old, despite his frail appearance, Gandhi was a titan of peace, his influence resonating across the globe. He was scheduled to lead a multi-faith prayer meeting, a daily ritual that embodied his lifelong message of unity and tolerance. He was running a little late, a rare occurrence for the punctual leader. Delayed by a meeting with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, India's deputy prime minister. As Gandhi, supported by his grandnieces Abba and Manu, made his way through the garden toward the prayer grounds, a crowd of several hundred people had gathered. They parted respectfully to let him pass. It was in this seemingly serene setting that tragedy struck. A man named Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist from Pune, stepped out from the crowd, blocking Gandhi's path. He bowed, as if in reverence, a gesture that momentarily disarmed those around. Manu, thinking the man wanted to touch Gandhi's feet, gently tried to move him aside, saying, "Brother." Bapu was already late for his prayers, but Godse pushed her aside with force, causing the prayer beads and notebook she was carrying to scatter on the ground. In the next instant, he pulled out a Beretta M1934 semi-automatic pistol. He fired 3 shots in rapid succession into Gandhi's chest and abdomen. The sound shattered the evening calm. Gandhi, his hands still pressed together in a gesture of greeting, slumped to the ground. In that final fleeting moment, what were his last words? This has been a subject of much discussion. It's the most widely accepted account, corroborated by his grandniece, Manu, and several others present, is that he uttered the words, "Ha, RM," which translates to, "Oh God." It was a fitting final prayer from a man who had dedicated his life to spiritual principles. These 2 simple words have since become a symbol of his unwavering faith, even in the face of violent death. The crowd was stunned into silence, then erupted into chaos. Godse did not attempt to flee, was seized by the crowd and an American diplomat, Herbert Reiner Jr., who was the first to grab him. He was quickly handed over to the police. Meanwhile, Gandhi was carried back inside Birla House, but the wounds were fatal. Within half an hour, it was announced to a heartbroken nation and a shocked world: Mahatma Gandhi was no more. But who was Nathuram Godse, and what drove him to commit this act? To understand his motives, we must understand the turbulent political climate of post-partition India. Godse was a member of the Hindu Mahasabha and a follower of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS, though the RSS has consistently denied his membership at the time of the assassination. He was a fervent Hindu nationalist who, along with his co-conspirators, vehemently opposed Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence and his perceived appeasement of Muslims. The partition of British India into 2 independent nations, India and Pakistan, in 1947 was a cataclysmic event. It led to widespread violence, with Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims clashing in brutal communal riots. Millions were displaced, and estimates of the death toll range from several 100,000 to 2 million. Godse and his associates blamed Gandhi for this tragedy. They believed his insistence on nonviolence had weakened the Hindu community, and that his support for paying a financial settlement to Pakistan, even as conflict raged in Kashmir, was a betrayal of India. In his own statement during his trial, Godse articulated his rationale. He didn't see Gandhi as a saint, but as a political figure whose policies he believed were detrimental to the interests of Hindus. He argued that his act was not born of personal hatred, but was a political necessity to save India. He saw Gandhi as the primary obstacle to a strong, militarized Hindu nation. This starkly ideological motive reveals the deep, violent schisms that were tearing at the fabric of the newly independent nation. The assassination was not a spontaneous act of a lone fanatic. It was the culmination of a well-organized conspiracy. The plot involved several individuals, led by Godse and Narayan Apte. They had made previous attempts on Gandhi's life. Just 10 days before the successful assassination, on January 20th, 1948, another member of the group, Madan Lal Pawa, exploded a bomb at the very same prayer meeting at Birla House. The bomb went off harmlessly against a garden wall, and Pawa was apprehended. Pawa's interrogation revealed the existence of a wider conspiracy to kill Gandhi. However, due to a lack of coordination and perhaps some complacency within the police force, the other conspirators, including Godse and Apte, managed to evade capture and regroup in Delhi. They acquired a new weapon, the Beretta pistol, and meticulously planned their final fatal attempt. The failure to act decisively on the intelligence from the first attempt remains one of the most tragic what-ifs in modern history. The trial that followed was one of the most sensational in India's legal history. It took place at the Red Fort in Delhi. Nathuram Godse and Narayan Apte were sentenced to death and were hanged on November 15, 1949. 6. Dauntly. Other co-conspirators, including Godse's brother, Gopal Godse, were given life sentences. Another key figure, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, a prominent ideologue of Hindu nationalism, was also charged, but was acquitted due to lack of evidence directly linking him to the plot, though his influence on the conspirators was undeniable. The assassination of Mahatma Gandhi sent shockwaves across the globe. He was mourned not just as a political leader, but as a moral compass for humanity. His funeral procession in Delhi was attended by over 1 million people, a sea of grieving citizens walking alongside their fallen leader one last time. World leaders paid tribute to the man who had shown that great change could be achieved not through force, but through peace, truth, and perseverance. Albert Einstein famously said of Gandhi, "Generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as this, ever in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth." The legacy of that fateful day is complex. For India, it was a moment of profound national trauma, a violent end to a non-violent struggle. It forced the newly formed government to take a firm stand against religious extremism, leading to a temporary ban on organizations like the RSS. Gandhi's death, and a tragic irony, helped to quell some of the communal violence that he had fought so hard to stop. His martyrdom solidified his status as an apostle of peace and became a powerful symbol against hatred. Decades later, the events of January 30th, 1948 continued to resonate. The figure of Nathuram Godse remains deeply controversial in India, with some fringe groups attempting to rehabilitate his image and portray him as a patriot. This ongoing debate reflects the persistent tensions and unresolved ideological battles within Indian society. But the enduring message is that of Gandhi himself. His last words, "Rm," serve as a final testament to his unshakable faith and his commitment to a higher spiritual truth, even in the darkest of moments. The story of his assassination is not just a historical event. It is a timeless and powerful reminder of the eternal struggle between love and hate, peace and violence, and the extraordinary price that is sometimes paid for standing up for one's convictions. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. The life and death of Mahatma Gandhi offer endless lessons about history, politics, and the human spirit. What are your thoughts on this pivotal moment in history? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video informative, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the stories that define our world.